Hi lovelies, welcome back to the channel today. So we're going about the detailed process involved in the sewing of this beautiful bustier gown you see right here, which has a Queen Anne neckline and also a back waistline. So you can see that it also has these gathers around the back area. It's a 100% beginners friendly tutorial, and trust me, you're never going to regret watching this tutorial. If this sounds like something you're interested in learning, please continue watching. Don't also forget to subscribe to my channel in case you haven't. And without much ado, let's dive right into what we have for today. The first part of this tutorial, which is the drafting part, has been uploaded on the channel. The link to this tutorial will be in the comment section. So if you haven't watched the first part of this tutorial, which is the drafting, please go ahead and click on the link in the comment section so that you know how to go about the drafting process involved in this particular dress. All the tutorials here are 100% beginners friendly, and trust me, you're never going to regret watching it as well. But if you've gone ahead to watch the first part of the tutorial, you are 100% free to continue with this second part, which is the sewing part. So after drafting and cutting out on our pattern paper, I just went ahead to transfer all of this drafted piece to my fabric, which is a black crepe I'm working with right here. So after cutting out on my fabric, I added my sewing allowance to all the necessary parts. So here now is the front part of my gown, which I'm going to start joining after adding all my stitching allowance all around, as you can see right here. So please take note of all the parts that I have on my sewing and joining allowance added. Okay, so for the sides I added 1 inch for our joining allowance. Then for the center front I added half an inch at the base, at the cuff part, and also at the top part. Then for the side front I added half of an inch at the top part, at the cuff part, and also at the base. Then for the sides I added just 1 inch for stitching. Okay, I've removed my pattern paper from my center front, and I also cut out on my lining piece as well. And remember that everything I cut out here is on fold. Now I've also removed my pattern paper from my side piece for the front part, and I've separated my main fabric from my lining, which are both black in color. Okay, so after cutting out the side front of your dress, you're going to have it two. Okay, it's going to be 2 pieces. So I'm just going to get one of the side front on the cuff part. I'll place it together with the center front on the cuff part as well. Now from the base, I'm pinning this all the way to the top part of this my dress. So after pinning, go ahead and mark half of an inch, which is the stitching allowance or the sewing allowance that was given while I was cutting out on my fabric. So do it for the 2 parts of this front part of the dress, and that will just be it. So for this shoulder part of my dress, this is the front dress, I have this my fabric acting as the lining and also the main fabric, because it's 4 pieces right here. So I'm going to place them this way, making sure that they align right sides facing each other before I go ahead to join. So the part I'm joining will be the slanted part. Okay, so I'm going to mark it out right here so you all see what I'm doing right here. So remember that you're also leaving stitching allowance all around aside the top part, which is the shoulder, because we already marked our shoulder slope earlier. So you're going to stitch exactly this part where I marked and turn it out to the right side and iron as well. So this is what I have after joining the front part of my dress on the fabric, and I also did the same thing for my lining piece and also iron my seam flat, as you can see. So for the shoulder part, this is also what I have after stitching. I flipped it to the right side and iron. So I'm going to work now on the back area of my gown. So I've removed my pattern paper from my fabric, and I've also kept my lining aside. So at this point now, I'm going to join the back area of my gown to the upper part. All right, so right sides facing each other, I'm just going to place these 2 together and join them on the waist using just half of an inch. So that was the essence of all of the half of an inch that was given while I was cutting out on my fabric. Right sides facing each other, I'm going to join this right here on the waistline. So ensure that you're working with your pin whenever you're sewing. After pinning, I'll join using just half of an inch, and this is what it's going to look like on the right side. I'll repeat the same process for the lining piece, and I'll just keep that aside. Now for the back part of this my dress, you see that at the top part and at the base I added half of an inch. I already added 1 inch stitching allowance at the sides when I was drafting on my pattern paper. Okay, if you've watched the tutorial, you understand what I mean. So before you remove your pattern paper from your fabric, please go ahead and notch your darts, because by the time you remove your pattern paper from your fabric, you'll be slightly confused on the parts where your dart is meant to be. Okay, so first of all, I'm going to go ahead and stitch my darts You can see from that point I folded that part where I notched, and I'm going to mark half of an inch, and from the base I'll mark 7 inches upward. So I'm just going to stitch my dart for both the fabric and the lining piece of this my gown for the back part. Okay, so when I do that, I'll also come back and show you all I have. So this is it after joining for the front part of my gown. That's for the back area as well. I went ahead to iron that joint I have there flat. Okay, you can see how flat it's looking so far. I also repeated the same thing for my lining fabric, sorry, for my lining piece as well. So I'm going to get the shoulder part of this the shoulder, or will I call it the sleeve part, but you know this part I'm talking about. So I'm going to place it on top of my fabric this way. Okay, so ensure that the slanted part, which is the neckline part, is resting on top of the right side of your fabric. Now from the armhole, I'm just pinning it this way. Okay, so after pinning, I'm going to stitch this together to my gown using just half of an inch. All right, and when I turn it, this is what it's going to look like. Okay, so we are not having any sleeve for the lining piece, so it's just for this one. Okay, so for the back piece, you can see that I've stitched my darts, and you can see what I have right here so far. So I'll be joining the backs area together with the upper part of this my back piece. Okay, so this is for the backs part. You can see all the parts. I also added my stitching allowance of ½ inch all around. So I've separated my pattern paper from my fabric. So on that part that is curved, that is the hip part, it is going to align with the sides, and the straight part to align with the zipper part. And I'm going to just place them like this, right size facing each other, and I'm going to pin them on the waist. After pinning, I'll mark ½ of an inch and join. So everything I'll be doing for this particular fabric, I'll repeat the same thing for my lining piece as well. Okay, so I'm going to get the shoulder or the sleeve part of this my gown, then I'll join it as well the same way I did for the front part. I'm going to place it right there on top of my dress this way, and I'll pin. So I'll join using ½ of an inch. Repeat the same thing for the two back piece and also on the lining piece, just that the lining piece doesn't have a shoulder or a sleeve. So I've gone ahead to do this now for the front part of my gown. You can see what I have. So I ironed this very well. It's very necessary. Okay, now I folded, like I just left my sleeve or my shoulder on top of my fabric. Now I'm using my lining now to cover it up, right size facing each other. So that means the hand or the shoulder of this our dress will be in between our main fabric and our lining piece. So I'm going to join this all around now. For the top part, I'm going to mark ½ of an inch for joining allowance, which I have right here. For the sides, for the two sides of this dress I have right here, I joined or stitched it together using just ½ of an inch. All right, so I didn't touch the base, I didn't touch the armhole, and I'm going to just turn it out to the right side from the base of this gown. So you see what it looks like and see how beautiful this is looking so far. So before I go ahead and arrange this properly so I can stay in place, I'll go ahead as well and iron. I repeated the same process as well for the back parts of my gown, as you can see right here. So I have everything at the wrong side here. I stitched with ½ an inch at the top part, and at the both sides I stitched or joined using just ½ of an inch. Now I'm turning everything to the right side from the base or the back area of this gown. So I'll go ahead and give this a very good press, and you can see how flat it's looking so far. So before I proceed with any other thing, I will have to iron the neckline part to be flat so that it can be easy for me to actually iron this very well. Okay, so you can just get your hemming gum and now place it in between. You can see inside I'm placing it right there. I'm going to iron my neckline flat, okay, because I don't want to top stitch. So I've gone ahead to do that so you can see how immovable it is at this point. So on the backs area, I actually aligned my fabric and my lining piece on that point, and this is the excess I had after aligning and stitching just that curved part following that shape. Okay, I repeated the same thing for the back part of this my gown, and this is also what I have. So I had little excess from my lining piece, which I'm cutting out right here. So what I'm cutting out here is my lining piece and not my fabric. Okay, so after cutting it out, you can see what I have so far is looking neat so far. Then I'm going to start joining all of this piece together, but firstly I have to join the shoulder parts. So this is the front part of my gown. I'm going to join it together on the shoulder with the back part of my gown. So I get one of the back piece, right sides facing each other. I'm going to open up the shoulder. So I'll open this up this way, you can see, making sure that the joints I have at the both shoulders for the front and back aligns together. Then I'll pin it just as I'm doing right here, and I'll go ahead and stitch using just half of an inch. Okay, so it's going to be straight now. I'll stitch it open straight this way. So when I'm done stitching it, if I close it back, it's going to come out very nice. All right,
I feel good, you look great, I like you, I can't wait. A first time, a first date, you're so fine, I'm so.
so after stitching, please make sure that you go ahead and also give this a very good press. So on that part, if you have it like looking a bit bulky, you can go ahead and trim it off slightly. Don't cut through your threads, okay, or your stitch. So don't forget to join the two parts of your shoulder. As you can see, I've done right here. I'm doing everything for the both sides of this my dress. So the next now is to arrange this my dress on the side so that I can start joining. So remember that when I joined my fabric and my lining piece together, I joined at the sides using half of an inch. So because of that, the size the allowance given to this my gown has reduced. Thereby I have to also reduce my sewing allowance. So I'm going to now stitch this at the side using just half of an inch instead of 1 inch, because of the quarter of an inch which we already used in stitching the sides of this our dress earlier. Okay, so after joining and everything, this is what I have. You can see right here I stitch using just half of an inch. You can see how neat the inside is looking. Now we are going to work on the gather part of this our gown. Okay, so this piece I have right here is 17 inches long, and it is about 4 yards and 10 inches extra. You can see how long it is. So at some point I had to join it at the middle because I want to have this full gathers effect. As you can see, I joined it right there on that point. So this point now is going to be the center or the middle of this my piece I have right here for my gathers. Okay, so right now I'm going to get the upper part of my dress, you can see, and I'll just fold it into two so that I can get the middle, which I'm going to notch as well. So I've notched this now, and I'm going to get that middle of my gather piece which I'm using for my gathers. Then on that part I'll just pin it together with the middle of this my dress. So after that, I'm also going to get one side, okay, of this my piece that is still remaining. So now it's two yards on each side. Okay, I'm going to also fold this piece into two so that I can get the middle. So I will notch it as well. Then this middle piece I have right now, I'm going to pin it at the joints I have from the front and the back part of this my dress. Okay, so this is the way I normally do my gathers on my printing or pleating or whatever it is, so that I don't have one part of my gathers or my pleats looking fuller than the other or looking scanty than the other. So when I now pin this, now this excess I have will be pleated around this curve I have right here, following the way it is, and this other excess I have towards this other side will also be pleated as well. I believe you understand what I'm doing. If you have been following me on this channel, I believe this is not new to you all as well. So I'm going to go ahead now to pleat because I don't want to gather this. Okay, so I'm going to pleat using just 1 inch, and this pleat I'm doing right here is called a knife pleat. Okay, so you take up or pull up your fabric about 1 inch, then you place it on top back on your fabric, following the shape of wherever you're pleating your fabric to. Okay, so this is just what I'm doing. So you can see I'm also measured it out right here, 1 inch, and I placed it on top of my fabric. So I'll follow the shape of these backs I have to pleat this. All right, so I'm pinning this first. When I'm done pleating, I'll go ahead and stitch. So when I'm stitching this, I'll stitch using just half of an inch. Okay, then I'll also repeat the same thing for the other side of my gown. So you can see what I have so far. This is what it looks like on the right side after pinning and stitching everything together. And I'm going to flip this now to the wrong side. You can see what it looks like as well. So the only part that is left for me to weave is this back area and also the base as well. So I'm quickly going to move over to the sleeve part. Okay, but before that I'll have to fix my zipper. So I'm going to turn this my gown now to the wrong side. On the zipper part, I'm going to bring these two pieces together this way. So I'll pin them on the waist and also at the top part. So from the waist part of this my gown, I'll mark about 6 to 5 inches below from the waist, and I'll stitch this down. So actually I marked 5 inches. So from these 5 inches, I'm going to stitch this all the way down. Then from the top part to that part is where I'll fix my zipper. So actually for the sleeve part of this my gown, I'll have this my net folded into two. So this my net has these dots, more like pimple dots on it. I don't know if it's polka dots or pimple dots, I don't really know, but whatever it is, I'm just going to fold this into four. I folded into two. Also try to get the stretchy part of your net so that you don't have to make mistakes. I've always made mention of this on my channel. So from the top part of this my folded net, I marked 3 inches. Now I extended that line slightly, and on that line I marked 4 inches inward from the folded part of my net, and I connected this up to that edge. So I'm going to measure out the armhole of this my gown. So when I measured it out, I had around 9.5 to 10 inches. So I'm going to mark out what I have right there on this line which I drew right here. So right now I marked 10 inches. That's extra half an inch for stitching. Now I'm using my curve rule to now create my proper armhole into that 4 inches. So the length of this my sleeve is going to be 24 inches. I'll add extra 1 inch for folding, and that is going to be 25 inches. So to measure out your wrist, you should actually do the measurement on your palm, just as you can see me showing you right here. You shouldn't do it exactly on your wrist because it's not going to pass through your wrist. Mostly when it's a fitted, it's going to be fitted on your wrist. Okay, so whatever it is you have after measuring, divide it into two and mark it on the full length of your sleeve. Divide your bicep circumference by 2 as well, and also mark it and add 1 inch stitching allowance. But it was not necessary for me to mark this 1 inch stitching allowance because this my nets I'm working with here was slightly stretchy. So after marking all of this, I went ahead now to cut out. So if this was a really bit too fast that you didn't really understand what I tried explaining here, I have a detailed tutorial on how to go about the drafting of your basic sleeve pattern. Okay, notch the middle of this your sleeve and now get the armhole part of your gown on the right side facing each other. You're going to place this and pin this all around on the armhole. So after pinning it all around, you're just going to stitch it all around as well using just half of an inch, and also go ahead to fold or hem the base of your sleeve. So I don't know if my explanation is very clear to you all. I honestly don't really know, but this is like very simple to do. So after doing all of that, you're just going to now stitch it using that your stitching allowance. So I ended up stitching my sleeve using 2 inches for it to be fitted because this my net was stretchy. I've also gone ahead to fix my zipper, and this is what I have. So the base, I'm yet to do anything to it because I would like to weave it first so that I can just fold it once. Okay, so that was all I did, and you can see how beautiful this looks. Thank you all so much for watching. I really do appreciate. I hope to see you next time on the same channel. Have a lovely time ahead of you, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Bye.